Something feels off, and you've felt it for years. You're doing what you were told, you're trying, you're improving, and yet, nothing really moves. Same level, same reactions from people, same results. That's not because you're weak. It's because you're playing a game that was never designed for you to win. Most men never realize this because the system rewards obedience, not awareness. From the outside, it looks fair. Work hard, be nice, follow the rules, wait your turn. But beneath that surface is a quieter mechanism at work. A psychological sorting process that happens constantly, silently, and without mercy. People don't respond to effort. They respond to positioning. They don't measure how much you try. They measure where you stand. And they decide that faster than you think. Long before you explain yourself. Long before you show value. Long before you speak. The uncomfortable truth is this: average is not an accident. It's a destination created by conditioning. You were trained to seek permission instead of leverage, approval instead of authority, safety instead of control. And once those habits settle in, they shape how others treat you without a single word being exchanged. Watch closely how the world reacts to men who hesitate. They get talked over, overlooked, delayed, dismissed politely, not attacked, not insulted, just quietly placed beneath the line where influence begins. That's the most dangerous position of all, because it feels normal. What keeps men trapped there isn't lack of intelligence or discipline, it's misunderstanding the rules. They believe life is about fairness when it's about perception. They believe value is built slowly when it's assigned instantly. They believe power comes from doing more when it actually comes from needing less. The moment you need validation, you lose leverage. The moment you explain instead of state, you drop status. The moment you chase clarity, you reveal uncertainty. None of this is conscious. That's why it works so well. This is not about becoming aggressive or loud. Those are cheap imitations. Real power is quieter, colder. It shows up as calm certainty, as emotional stillness, as the ability to pause without anxiety. The system doesn't reward noise, it rewards control. And once you see this, you can't unsee it. You start noticing how certain men bend situations without force, how doors open before they knock, how conversations shift when they enter. They're not special, they're just playing a different game. And you're about to understand what that game actually is. Nobody tells you this, but average isn't a lack of talent, it's a pattern. A quiet loop most men never question. Wake up, react, consume, repeat. Over time, the mind stops leading and starts responding. And the moment you live in reaction, control moves elsewhere. Look closely at how most men spend their attention. Notifications decide when they think. Other people's expectations decide how they move. Trends decide what they want. None of this feels like control because it's comfortable. Control rarely feels violent. It feels familiar. The system doesn't need to trap you, it only needs to keep you predictable. Predictable men are easy to manage, easy to sell to, easy to replace. When your reactions are obvious, your future is already written by someone else. This is why motivation fades so fast. Motivation requires ownership. But if your decisions aren't really yours, motivation collapses under pressure. Discipline doesn't stick because the frame isn't internal. You're trying to build power on borrowed structure. Average men wait for clarity before acting. Powerful men act before clarity arrives. That gap is everything. Waiting feels responsible, but it's actually avoidance dressed as logic. While you wait, others move. While you analyze, others shape the environment you'll later be forced to accept. Notice how often hesitation is praised as intelligence. Be careful. Think it through. Don't rush. None of this is wrong. But when it becomes a habit, it slowly erodes initiative. And initiative is the foundation of authority over your own life. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Freedom isn't taken from most men. It's delayed until it expires. 1 year turns into 5, 5 into 10. Suddenly the risk feels too high, not because it is, but because you've trained yourself to avoid discomfort. Average is not where you start. It's where you settle when you stop challenging the invisible rules shaping your behavior. The moment you accept them without question, you don't need chains anymore. You've already put them on yourself. Control is rarely taken by force. It's granted by habit. Most men hand it over daily without noticing, through repetition, routine, and emotional predictability. When your reactions are easy to anticipate, you become manageable. And what is manageable is never respected. Look closely at how average lives are built. Same wake-up time, same tone of voice, same emotional range, same opinions delivered with the same energy every time. The brain around them adapts quickly. Once adaptation happens, attention fades, influence fades, attraction fades, not because they lack value, but because their value became obvious too soon. The human mind is wired to respond to contrast, sharp shifts in tone, unexpected pauses, controlled restraint followed by precise action. When everything about you is flat, nothing about you is memorable. Predictability feels safe, but safety is not power. Safety is where ambition goes to sleep. Men who rise understand this instinctively. They disrupt patterns quietly. They don't explain themselves on schedule. They don't react on cue. They allow moments of uncertainty to linger. That uncertainty creates focus. Focus creates leverage. Notice how powerful figures behave when challenged. They don't rush to defend. They don't overcorrect. They don't seek validation. They let silence stretch just long enough to force the other person to reveal intent. In that pause, the balance shifts. Average men fear being misunderstood. Controlled men allow it. Because confusion puts pressure on the other side to adjust. Whoever adjusts loses ground. This is why emotional discipline matters more than motivation. Motivation spikes and crashes. Discipline stays quiet and consistent. When you stop reacting to everything, people begin reacting to you. When you stop chasing clarity, others start seeking it from you. Power grows in the space you don't fill. Most men think being reliable makes them valuable. It doesn't. It makes them usable. Value comes from selectivity, from choosing when to engage and when to withhold, from not giving the same energy to every situation. Once you break your own patterns, others lose their grip on you. They can't
Control
predict you.
doesn't announce
They can't
itself.
steer you.
It blends
They can't
in.
place you easily.
It feels
in their mental
normal,
hierarchy,
comfortable,
and when
reasonable.
they can't place you, they hesitate.
And that's why
That
most men
hesitation's
never
where control
notice when it
begins.
happens. The cage is padded, the bars are invisible, and the door looks like freedom. By the time you question it, you've already adjusted your posture to fit inside. Look closely at how decisions are made around you. Not the big ones, the small ones. What you tolerate, what you postpone, what you tell yourself you'll fix later. Control lives there. It doesn't force you, it nudges you. One compromise at a time. One excuse that sounds logical. One delay that feels harmless. Average men don't lack intelligence. They lack leverage. They wait for permission from circumstances that will never arrive. They move only when pressure becomes unbearable. And by then, every move is reactive. Reaction is the currency of the controlled. The system rewards predictability. Predictable men are easy to manage. They wake up the same way, think the same way, react the same way. Their emotions are visible before they speak. Their patterns are readable.
and anything readable can be steered. Power begins when your behavior becomes less legible, when your reactions slow down, when your decisions stop being emotional echoes of your environment. The moment people can't predict you, they start adjusting to you instead of the other way around. This is where most men get uncomfortable. Because unpredictability requires restraint. It means not responding immediately, not explaining yourself, not chasing resolution. Silence becomes a tool. Distance becomes leverage. Ambiguity becomes protection. Controlled men seek clarity because clarity feels safe. Free men understand that clarity given too early removes tension. And tension is where influence lives. When people don't know exactly where they stand with you, they pay closer attention. Notice how often you feel compelled to prove your intentions, to clarify your stance, to soften your edge. That impulse is not kindness. It's conditioning. The need to be understood is often the need to be accepted. And acceptance is the leash most never see. Real control isn't about domination. It's about positioning. About being the one who waits while others rush. The one who listens while others reveal. The one who moves last, with the most information. Once you shift into that role, the pressure reverses. People explain themselves to you. They seek alignment. They adjust their tone, not because you demanded it, but because uncertainty makes them uneasy. And unease always bends toward the calmest presence in the room. By now, you should see the pattern clearly. Average men are not unlucky, they are predictable, and predictability is the currency of control. When your reactions are obvious, your emotions readable, your behavior consistent in the wrong way, you become easy to manage. Not just by people, by systems, by expectations, by invisible rules you never agreed to. Here's what no one tells you. Society doesn't reward effort. It rewards leverage. And leverage comes from being difficult to categorize. The moment people think they understand you, they stop respecting you. Familiarity kills tension, and without tension, there is no influence. Most men wake up, consume the same content, repeat the same routines, complain in the same tone, dream in the same limits. Their life becomes a loop, safe, comfortable, and completely harmless. The world doesn't fight them, it ignores them. Power begins when you disrupt patterns, not loudly, not dramatically, quietly. When your actions stop matching expectations, people pause. That pause is where advantage lives. Confusion creates space. Space creates authority. Notice how dominant individuals operate. They don't explain their moves in advance. They don't announce intentions. They act, then let others adjust. While average men ask for validation before every step, powerful men move first and let reality catch up. This is also why discipline without direction leads nowhere. Grinding blindly only makes you a better worker inside someone else's structure. Real progress comes from strategic withdrawal, saying no, delaying gratification, choosing asymmetry over balance. Average men seek stability. Powerful men seek positioning. One wants comfort, the other wants control over outcomes, and those two paths never cross. At some point, you must decide whether you want to be understood or respected, because you rarely get both. The man who is always understood becomes transparent. The man who keeps parts of himself unreadable stays dangerous. This is where most quit mentally, not because it's hard, but because it requires letting go of approval, and approval is the last addiction average men refuse to drop. Once you detach from needing to be liked, your behavior sharpens, your decisions slow down, your presence changes. People feel it before they can explain it. You are no longer reacting, you are positioning, and that's when the game finally shifts in your favor. This is where everything comes together. By now you should see it clearly. Nothing has been wrong with you. You weren't born behind. You weren't unlucky. You were simply trained to play a game that rewards compliance, speed, and noise, and then punished you for never standing out. Average men don't fail because they lack talent. They fail because they move inside rules designed to keep them predictable. They speak when expected. They react on cue. They chase approval and confuse movement with progress. And the system loves them for it. Predictable men are easy to manage. But the moment you step outside that pattern, everything shifts. When you slow down where others rush, when you choose silence where others explain, when you stop reacting and start observing, that's when control quietly returns to you. Power isn't about domination, it's about position. And position is decided by how you think, not how hard you try. The man who understands the game doesn't argue with it. He uses it. He places himself above the noise and lets others reveal their weakness first. This is why most people never escape average. Not because they can't, but because no one ever showed them where the invisible lines were. And once you see those lines, you can't unsee them. From this point forward, every interaction becomes information. Every reaction becomes data. Every silence becomes leverage. You stop being pulled by the current and start choosing direction. If this changed the way you see things, don't let it end here. Stay close. There's more to uncover, and the deeper you go, the clearer the game becomes. Subscribe, stay sharp, and remember, once you see the structure, you're no longer inside it.